Hey everyone, so today we're going to be taking a look at the Konica Minolta MAXXUM 7D digital camera. And this thing is older. It's an older camera. It's, I would say, well, it came out back in 2004. And the reason I have it with me is that my uncle went ahead and asked me if I wanted to go ahead and have it, since I don't think he needs it anymore. It's not planning on using it anymore. And he knows that I'm getting into photography. I'm getting into taking pictures and learning more about that kind of stuff, and which is true. I mean, that's what I'm starting to enjoy quite a bit. So I went and said, yeah, I'll go ahead and take it. And this video is pretty much gonna be about me cleaning this thing up, because it was a little bit dirty, not too bad, but it's over 10 years old, and it just needed really good cleaning. So I went in and decided to go ahead and clean it up as best as possible. Not really in the internal workings of the camera itself, but mostly on the outside. Just kind of give it a good wipe, clean off any of the dirt, dust, oils from your skin, that kind of stuff. Kind of try to make it brand new again, even though it is an older camera. You can see its wear and tear on it, but it still works. It's a pretty good camera. The only thing is that the internal battery, which I want to try to see if there's a way to. I'm not sure, but the date and time. Whenever you put a battery in and you leave it in there, the date and time will. The camera's going to ask you if you want to go ahead and set the date and time each time, even with the battery being in there for a while, like the lithium-ion battery. It still asks you for the date and time. But yeah, I mean, this video is just gonna be about me cleaning it up. This thing is pretty awesome. It came out back in 2004, and it is a digital camera. And for its time, it got a lot of good reviews on this thing. I looked it up online, and all over the place, people were giving it 4 stars, 4.5 stars. Some people gave it 5 stars out of 5. So it got pretty awesome reviews. It's got some unique features, like the image stabilization that it does use in this thing. When it comes to specs, I'm just going to go based off of the Wikipedia website. It is a 6 megapixel camera. It does have a CCD sensor instead of a CMOS sensor. In terms of ISO, you're able to go up to about 3200 ISO. It does use CF cards type 1 or type 2. It does have a pop-up flash at the very front of it, but you're also able to put in your own external flash on it. It does have a hot shoe for that. It does have an LCD on the back. It's 2.5 inches, but the resolution isn't that great. It's around 207,000 pixels. It is a TFT display as well, but for its time, this thing was pretty much top of the line. The cool thing about this camera is that there are buttons and dials all over the place. I mean, this was before manufacturers and companies were putting all of these features mostly through the menu system inside of the camera, where on the outside you're limited to just a few buttons and dials. But on this thing, it's all over the place. And it does have a magnesium alloy body. It does have a good weight to it as well. It's pretty hefty, and in terms of just its general size, it's pretty big. He did give me the camera along with 3 lenses, and I believe the first one is a kit lens, but I'm not 100% sure. But it is a 28 to 100 millimeter lens. It does have autofocus on it. I cleaned this one up. In terms of the lens elements, it's pretty clean all the way throughout. The other one is a 100 to 300 millimeter lens, and this one is pretty awesome as well. It's also clean. The one that I noticed there were some issues with was this TAMRON 28 to 300 millimeter lens. This one right here, I looked at it and I was able to clean the outside elements, or the front and the back, but I noticed there was some fungus growing on the second and third element inside the front of the lens itself. Some of it was on the outer edges. You can see a couple spots on this thing, which on the outer edges it may not affect your images too much. You can kind of see, like, right in the center, it's like these two pretty big areas. So I did some testing with this one, and you can certainly see some haze whenever you take pictures through this lens. But that's pretty much it. It's just getting this pretty cool camera from my uncle and cleaning it up, and then I'm just gonna see if I can take it out for a test drive and take some pictures with it, see what kind of results I get from it. One thing I was considering was maybe getting an adapter, since I do like to adapt lenses from other cameras or other mounts to what I have with me that I use, like the Panasonic G85, or like my current Rebel T5 that I'm shooting this video with. I do like to mount different lenses to it. But I was looking online, and for me to mount something like this to that kind of body where it does have the electronic connector, so that way the body and lens can communicate with each other, it would have been pretty expensive for an adapter. So I'm going to hold off on that. I could get a dummy adapter to see how that works, but I might also hold off on that just because even though it's less expensive, I do already have other lenses that I use for my camera bodies. But yeah, I'm just gonna see what happens. In the meantime, I'm just gonna hold on to these lenses with this body and just play around with the MAXXUM 7D, see what kind of stuff I get out of it. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Take care and have a great day.